Welcome back to another exciting episode with hi.TV. We are here at the prestigious Shangri-La Colombo for the top 10 champions of diversity awards in 2024. This event is proudly presented by Women in Management in partnership with International Finance Corporation. Stay tuned with hi.TV for more exclusive coverage of this event. We're here with Mr. Shihan, one of the judges for Top 10 Champions of Diversity Awards. Sir, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sir, as a judge, what qualities were you looking and what criteria exactly were you looking when finding the top 10 champions for Diversity Awards?
Well, first of all, it was a very tough decision to make. I mean, everybody in the list, the nominees were up to the mark, and we had a tough time, all the panel of judges. We had a lot of brainstorming sessions. And at the end, we had to stick to this number 10. So we had to select the 10 out of that lot. But I would say that everybody in that list are champions in diversity. And I think that is what we need. And when we selected them, it's not that they have done some sort of work related to diversity or gender balance in the last year. They have been championing that throughout. And they are also steering their workplace, encouraging this sort of thing, and increasing awareness, which I think is a good thing. And today's event, I want to congratulate the WIM team, especially Sulochana Segera, for initiating programs like this, because this is what the country needs. And I hope that the selections that we have made today, they will continue to champion in this cause, setting examples to others and motivating and inspiring others also to engage in similar work.
At the very outset, before we commence with this wonderful event, we would like to get started, of course, with the lighting of the traditional oil lamp to signify an auspicious start to this evening. This evening, we embark on an initiative that honors Sri Lanka's trailblazing leaders who champion diversity, equity, and inclusion.
This year, we received 62 nominations, shortlisted them to 51, and after 4 rounds of judging, debating, verifying information and checking references, you emerged as our champions. Convincing the panel of judges about your leadership and its impact was no easy task, but your ability to inspire inclusivity and respect within your workplace set you apart, because award goes beyond recognizing leadership in performance.
I'd like to start by congratulating the awardees. Your constant commitment toward creating a diverse, equitable, and inclusive workplace is simply invaluable. And it also emphasizes the critical role played by men as allies in championing diversity across the private sector. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is not simply a trend or a checkbox tick. It's a core value that shapes the very future of organizations and communities.
This award for the top 10 champions of diversity goes to the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Commercial Bank PLC. Put your hands together for Mr. Sanath Manatunga.
I don't think this is a personal achievement. I dedicate this award to all my team members at Commercial Bank who had nurtured in our culture the diversity we are practicing today.
This award is presented to the founding editor and the chief executive of Daily FT, Mr. Nishtar Qasim.
In terms of, from a nation perspective, inclusion and diversity is their way forward, and I believe awards of this nature encourages everyone and inspires everyone. Thank you very much.
Director, Chief Executive Officer of Horana Plantations PLC, Mr. Johan A. Rodrigo.
If we were going to honor the people, the land, we need to build something different, something better. We need to ensure that every hand that nurtures the crops, every voice in the fields, and every person who contributes to the industry has an equal chance to thrive.
Area General Manager, Hilton Sri Lanka, and General Manager, Hilton Colombo, Mr. Manesh Fernando. Put your hands together for him.
Take an award like this, it would be the day when we don't need to take such awards because it is the way we will be, right? So there's a bit of it's a bit of a moronic comment I'm making, but it would be the day when it is normal, okay? And to me, in Hilton, inclusion is one of our number one tenants. We have 4 tenants and inclusion is number 1. So it's almost like a second nature to us.
The Chief Commercial Officer of South Asia Gateway Terminals, Mr. Ted Muttaya.
Attitudes to diversity, equity, and inclusivity are based on one's values. They are to be nurtured, just as we do all other universally acceptable behavior. At a personal level, it is a commitment to doing the right thing, which is the very essence of personal character.
Actor and media personality, Danu Inasutambi.
I'm in the presence of greatness. That's you guys who have paved the way to such great things, where women have come forward, created a movement that only did not support and enrich women, but it also enriched the men who worked in those spaces to understand the value that women can add to an organization or to a group or even to a project.
So back in 2021, we asked 2 specific questions from the private sector. IFC wanted to know what is the prevalence of violence and harassment in the workplace and what is the impact on employees as well as businesses. So what is the cost to the business and how many employees are actually impacted by this? So what we tried to understand were the workplace experiences and behaviors in terms of bullying, sexual harassment, online violence, and intimate partner violence. So we did our study across 9 different companies, across this multitude of sectors, and we utilized an employee survey as well as key person interviews with management as well as HR folk to understand this data.
Adding to what Manesh, Ted also mentioned on why do we really need to be having awards to all that? If you look at Sri Lanka, a small country with a relatively small population, I think we are blessed with diversity. When I say diversity, it is through gender, race, religion, caste, etc.
We are here with Mr. Charit Subasinghe, one of the award winners for Top 10 Champions of Diversity. So how are you doing this fine evening?
It has been a great event, and also the fact that there is a conversation around gender equality and the recognition of that also gives many corporates to have that as a top area in their agenda. And I do believe as a corporate which has really absorbed this in our ways of working, that there's a lot of benefits. So it's not a nice to have thing, but it has a lot of benefits also if you really embrace equality and the diversity.
In your corporation, so how do you make sure all of the employees' voice are heard and that they matter? How do you make sure of that?
Few ways. It has to be a situation where that you have created the confidence for somebody to talk, somebody to say what they want to voice, and ensuring that that it is that there's a transparent method available for any conversation to be heard and absorbed in our ways of working, and that's how we will encourage the behavior.
In our group, our core business is vehicles, for vehicles, vehicle repairs, technicians. We have quite a lot of ladies who works as technicians, service advisors, all that. But we are driving it very hard because they have a lot of chances. A lot of our staff, ladies who has come out from our training school, who has worked for demos, most of them have migrated to places like Australia, New Zealand, doing very well. These are ladies who we have developed.
We are here with Mr. Gahanath, one of the champions of diversity. How are you doing today, sir?
Good, I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. So, sir, how did you incorporate diversity and inclusivity in your workplace?
It has been, as I told you in my speech also, it has been part of life at Demo. It's not a special thing. We always follow this, so it's a part of the day-to-day thing at Demo.
What's one piece of advice you would give out to the new starting businesses that would like to incorporate diversity and inclusivity in their businesses?
Best is to get some more people. Actually, we also find it difficult to get especially ladies to our type of business, like to being a technician and things like that. So somebody has to encourage and say that this is not a man's job. Anybody could do this type of job. So that the media, I think, has to drive it.
Your efforts are truly inspiring, particularly at a time when these values seem to be reducing or being being scaled back in many parts of the world. And I particularly would like to pick up the United States, where I read that big companies like Walmart, John Deere, Harley Davidson, Ford are all recently talking about pushing back from DEI. Of course, they cite financial pressures.
We're here with Mr. Murtaza, one of the award winners of Top 10 Champions of Diversity. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm feeling very happy and pleased for winning this award on behalf of HEMAS. Learning much more about diversity, equity and inclusion, and knowing that so many good companies are pursuing this has been a real source of inspiration and encouragement.
What inspired for you to work towards diversity and inclusivity in the workplace, for you to reach out winning this kind of an award?
Well, it's the right thing to do and it makes business sense. If you respect your employees, they will respect our customers. If you respect your employees, they will give you ideas for innovation, for reducing costs, and for increasing sales.
We're here with Mr. Denver De Silva, one of the award winners for Top 10 Champions of Diversity. So, sir, how are you doing this evening?
Absolutely fine, thank you. It's a brilliant event with a distinguished audience and gathering, and we are delighted to be here. And it's a testament for the people who have been here working for over 15 years, long before we came here, and has engineered this to be where it is. So big thanks to Women in Management, IFS, International Finance Corporation, for their great work they have done in believing in doing what is right. And we support it, and we are there to take it through.
So, as one of the award winners, what things have you incorporated to make sure diversity and inclusivity are some of major factors in your corporation?
So diversity and inclusion. So Virtusa, we have officers in over 50 locations spanning across 27 countries. And that gives us a diversity of culture, diversity of education, a diversity of points of view, a diversity of values. And we unite them for one common cause of doing what is right and doing it correctly. And we enable that through our organizations, through our processes, through our systems. We at Virtusa are engineers and builders, and we will build things better, faster, and quicker.
And that's a wrap for Top 10 Champions of Diversity Awards 2024 here at Shangri-La, Colombo. It was an evening filled with innovation and celebration of diversity. I'm Situm Sankalpa. Stay tuned with Hi TV for more exclusive events like this.